Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of the Cuphead playthrough. Last part we played against the Root Pack in Botanic Panic, and this part we're going to be playing against Goopy Le Grande in Ruse of an Ooze. And the only thing interesting to say about Goopy Le Grande is that he is the easiest boss in this game. This right here is all he's going to be doing for the next couple of minutes. Not very exciting here. Even though he's the easiest boss in the game, I guess even an easy boss can be difficult against an idiot, which is what I was in that moment. So in his second phase, he does the exact same thing except bigger. Ooh. I don't mean to sound too excited here, but not much exciting is really going on, aside from my own screw-ups. Okay, so I just started this video saying that he was the easiest boss in the game, and he happened to be the first boss that I died to, which is quite pathetic. All right, I'm gonna be getting a little bit more serious now. Actually, the most tricky thing about Goopy Le Grande is when he backs you up into like a corner, because when he bounces. Sorry about that. I was gonna say that when Goopy Le Grande bounces into like a corner, it kind of trips you up because when he bounces into a corner, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to explain what I mean. But when Goopy Le Grande bounces into, sorry once again. When Goopy Le Grande bounces into a wall, he's gonna bounce back. He's not gonna he's not gonna go off screen. So that's just something to consider. You know, actually, I think I'm doing so poor in this boss. I'm just gonna start again. And you can do that in Cuphead. You can just retry. I'm gonna try not to abuse the retrying too much because I just want to get a move on. I don't want this playthrough to be too tedious. Anyway, you could see what he did right there. When he bounced into a wall, he went back. Once again, I am sorry for that. Something happened. But I was able to narrowly avoid him right there. I haven't been using my EXs a lot. All right, we got Goopy Le Grande finished with. Unfortunately, I only use 4 EX attacks, so the highest I can get is an A. But that wasn't too bad. And the soul contract for Goopy Le Grande. The next boss, well, I'm gonna go back down here. The next boss I'm actually gonna play against is Ribby and Croaks. Actually, before I play against Ribby and Croaks, I'm gonna get something, which I didn't get in the last part. But if you go around the corner here, we see this. This is called the Mausoleum. And in the Mausoleums, in Cuphead in the Mausoleums, it's basically a parry challenge. So I mentioned parrying in the tutorial, but this is where your parrying skills come to the test. You have to stop these ghosts from getting to this thing right here. I don't know.
Wah, wah, wah. Will you cut that out?
Sorry once again. Anyway, I don't know what this thing is exactly called, but you have to stop the ghost from getting to it. Anyway, that's basically it. It's not too difficult. You can't actually get damaged by these ghosts, so you don't need to worry about that. And of course, you can't damage them except by parrying, so you just basically have to be focused. There's gonna be a Mausoleum level in each world, and it's obviously gonna be more difficult each time. But here we're gonna be seeing the legendary Chalice. I'm sure that's her name. I actually don't know what her name is. But yeah. A super. That's what I came here for. So now we can equip a super, which is an attack you can use when you have all 5 cards filled up. And with this super, we're gonna go against Ribby and Croaks in Clip Joint Calamity. Alright, we got everything sorted out, so let's just go. I'm gonna be telling you guys right now, Ribby and Croaks is where I think that the game starts to get hard. Now, once again, I've played this game a lot, so I don't think that I'll be having too much challenge. But just a disclaimer. I say I wouldn't be having too much challenge, but I was trying to parry that thing. Alright, so that's the first phase done with. Sorry about that. I should be apologizing to myself. Because that was absolutely terrible. I shouldn't have done that. Once again, I'm sorry for all of the cutting. It's just my computer. Because my computer is quite bad right now. This is the 4th phase, and this is probably the trickiest phase, to be honest, because this is where you start to get introduced into random elements in this game. So you already saw a glimpse of the 4th phase there. The 3rd phase, excuse me. But you already saw a glimpse of the 3rd phase. But basically, it's depending on what the slot machine shows, it's different every time. Alright. Oh, darn. I wasn't paying attention. These first 2 phases really aren't too bad. The 3rd phase can really get kind of bad on you if you're just not prepared for whatever he has to store. Ribby and Croaks, I mean. Like, because sometimes you can get a really bad combination. Even though I'm pretty good at this game, some of these slot machine results I'm not very good at. So this is the bull, which is pretty alright. The tiger is not alright though. The tiger is actually my least favorite of the slot machine results. However, well, I just wasted that super. But that's what you. But when you have a super, you basically get that when you have 5 cards. Oh, we're lucky. We get to see all 3 of the slot machine combinations. Which was the frog. That was the frog there. I'm sorry if I sound disorganized here. The video stopped several times, so it's kind of unfortunate. But with stats like these, we're not going to be getting any higher than a B. So you can see that with the B, you get a red flag. If you get an A- or higher, you get a gold flag. But now that we went through Ribby and Croaks, now we're gonna go through this other boss right now. So we're gonna be doing 3 bosses in this video, and this is the airplane. So there are platformer bosses like the ones you just saw, and there are also aeroplane bosses, which they're called in this game. So basically, you go into this airplane, and you're very limited in what you can actually do. This is your super. Yeah. So there are 2 types of bosses that you go through in this game. One are the platformer bosses, like the ones that we went through last part and this part. And the aeroplane bosses, like the one we're gonna go through right now, Hildeberg.
Here's a real high-class bout. And begin!
So in these airplane bosses, you're basically limited in what you can actually do. I screwed up there. But you're limited in what you can actually do, because you don't have the weapons that you can buy from the store. And they also throw a lot of obstacles at you, which you have to avoid. So I didn't do very well there. Let's try better this time. I'm also just gonna say that the airplane bosses can be like some of the hardest bosses in the game. There's a couple of them. That's the super that you can do. And a lot of the reasons why they can be so hard is just because of how many bullets they throw at you, how many obstacles and projectiles you have to avoid. Hildeberg's pattern is basically every time she blows up like that, she goes into these different constellations. So the first one that you saw was Taurus, and this one is Gemini. She also has another constellation that she goes through, which is a Sagittarius. If I beat her, she won't be going through that right in this part. Although I'm gonna play through her again just to show you it. And here's her last phase. For the brown UFOs, you have to prompt them to shoot, and for the red UFOs, you have to make sure you pass under them before they shoot their lasers. That's the pattern for the UFOs. All right, really good run there. That was pretty good. All right, awesome. A+. Alright, so I'm going to edit the video now so you can see Hildeberg's second phase. Alright guys, we're back, and here is the other constellation that she goes into, which is Sagittarius. So the Sagittarius basically shoots these homing targets at you. And the Sagittarius is pretty hard. It's actually, I think it might be the hardest constellation, to be honest. But that's just so. But I just wanted to show it to you. Anyway, that would be it for this part. I hope to see you guys in the next one later.